a ghostwriter? You know, what if we had a million young men and women learning how to, you know, change laws or how to, you know, just any other things. It's like
be involved in tech, be engineers.
Yeah, engineers, doctors, pharmacists, you know, dentists. So, you know, if you only see it, whatever you do, let's say if you do it consistently enough, you'll be good at it. So, you know, if I go shoot 1,000 shots a day, I'm gonna start being like, you know, shout out to my man Lethal Shooter. You know, I'm gonna hit the buckets.
That man is crazy.
Yeah, if I'm working on my craft of learning charts, you know, about stocks and bonds and cryptos and commodities, if I'm working on, you know, what you're doing, you know, podcasts, you know, how you do anything is how you do everything. You get better and better as you be consistent.
Absolutely.
So you can fail your way to the top.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna say that again. You can fail your way to the top. So a lot of people don't, you know, we need more options in front of these young men and women than sports, because we don't have to always be the entertainers in, you know, sports or comedy or film or rapping. That's not, you know.
Everybody can't do that. Everybody can't do that.
And it comes with a lot.
Yeah. And to piggyback off of what you said about the sports, right? So in the NBA, there's only 30-something teams and 15 spots. So that's 450 spots total in the NBA. Yeah. Always think about that for any of the young men and women or any of the people out there listening. If you have
only children, 8 of them get in the game.
You understand? you may ride the bench for a very long time before you get your chance to shine. Because of the podcast era that we're in right now, I've had the chance to hear how Jermaine O'Neal rode the bench for so long until he got his chance. I had the chance to hear how certain players said I was on the bench and I was very, very good and I was killing them in practice, but they said it's not your time and every spot is filled.
And even back to high school for me, I learned how to play chess. You know, like I said, every man in my family, including my dad from 5 generations, were in prison. So I learned how to play chess. My dad taught me how to play chess. You know, I was a swimmer. I could have played baseball as well. You see what I'm saying? So there were other options, but, you know, it's not cool to play chess. It's not cool to play baseball. It's not cool to swim, you know. But I was involved in other things because I had an older brother and I listened. And that's one thing I really want to point out on this podcast today. I listened to my old brother, and I didn't want an older brother and older people than myself. And I hung around older people because I didn't want to make the same mistakes as they made. So my brother told me, get in student council, you know, become class president. I did that. Play sports, do community service, get in every extracurricular activity you can. Be involved in stuff, you know, in different organizations. So that's what led me to be able to go to school for free on a sports scholarship and an academic scholarship. So sports paid for, academics went in my pocket.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and I think that's very important to the young men and women or all those that are listening. Smart people run the world. Smart people run sports are cool, but the way this podcast is happening, the way your heating unit works, the way your car works, there are smart people that put these ideas together to make all this stuff come together. The way you have Wi-Fi.
Right. And shout out to Wallow and Gilly for this new $100 million deal that they just did.
Oh man, salute to them. I saw them signing on it, you know. And it was good to see that. It was good to see them win, you know.
Shout out to them. So, you know, and that just shows you that people are not watching TV anymore. They're watching YouTube. They're watching Spotify. They're watching podcasts. You know, and you know, they don't have a journalism degree. Wallow, you know, a couple of years out of prison.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Living life, enjoying life.
Yeah. So, I always just want to, you know, just reach out to the next generation and tell them that there's other ways to get money legally. But also, like I said before, never depend on one source of income. Absolutely.
There's always a different way to make money. You just have to be persistent and dedicated to doing it. That's the focus. Sacrificing your life to make $1 around a bunch of guys that may end up going to jail or end up dead it's not healthy. You know, and the benefits aren't that good unless you're one of the few guys who survive and make it to the top. And we have a lot more guys making their way into the penal system and into the graveyard than making it to the top of the drug game.
Right. And like you just said, smart people run the world. You know, people used to call me, you know, geek, corny, outcast. And I'm like, you know, I'm just sparing y'all. I'm trying to make sure my mama don't cry. I'm trying not to upset my grandmother. I'm trying not to be a statistic. But I can give it to you if you want. But I'm just trying not to be that guy. So Lord, that's why I'm in these organizations. That's why I'm studying so hard, because I have a generational curse over my family, and I'm aware of that. And my mama prayed and kept me in church and prayed. Don't be a statistic like your daddy and your uncles and your grandfather and your great grandfather and all your cousins.
Let's speak on that real quick, because we come from environments where there are men around us who teach us morals, values, discipline, integrity, right? But there are idiots out here who continue to think that they're doing something awesome by pressing these buttons and crossing these lines, but they really don't know any better.